Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. How are you? I hope you all in a good condition. Okay, let's introduce ourselves. My name is Mutia Indriani and my friend Yolanda putri. In this video, we will explain and describe about creative writing in poetry. So, let's take a look in the next slide. So, what is creative writing in poetry? Creative writing is an art of sort, the art of making things up. It's writing done in a way that is not academic or technical but still attract an audience. Thus, the definition is creative writing can for the most part be considered any writing that is original and self-expressive. The importance of this to creative writer should be self-evident. What's self-evident? Your primary responsibility is the use of language to create something. Rather than to communicate fact and expose meaning directly, a beautiful style of language, including the nuance of the metaphorical use of word, is essential to becoming a creative writer. Next is the important things in creative writing. First, beauty and truth. When you're going to express yourself onto your paper, you must be your own self. You must have your own style. And don't take this to mean that your poetry should be written only about beautiful things or that only beautiful words can be used, which frequently leads to sentimentality and cliché. Second is poetical language. Poets tend to make the transition more easily because they bring with them the power of poetical language to the act of writing prose. Prose writer, on the other hand, frequently detest the alleged falseness and expressing the kind of sentimentality poets do. Last but not least is process. You must do some practical. Students are always looking for the keys to succeeding in any writing assignment. As though if they knew exactly what the instructor was looking for, they would have an easier time to completing the task. For creative writer, that's simply not real life because writing a poetry or poem and telling a story is not a task.
And next, learning to write poetry is still experiencing numbers of obstacles. The obstacles are bad from students and teacher. Students then to prepare popular science essay writing than poetry writing. It sometimes becomes too much difficult thing for students to do. It's to the students took that the form is the complication in terms of language and interpretation. In addition, the united learning goals performance by the teacher become an obstacle in poetry writing class. Therefore, teachers should start looking for a way to make students easy to learn write poetry. Teacher must form effect and creative learning technique to students at school. The understanding that writing poetry can be learned must be imparted to the students that would be open-minded to learning to write poetry. And next, according to the student's opinion, it can be troubles that they find of positive influence. Creative writing are mainly vocabulary, grammar, imagination, and a beautiful style of language metamorph. And the purpose of creative writing is to both entertain and share human experience like love of loss. Write to get a truth about humanity, talk poetry, and storytelling. If you don't like try you hand creative writing, just keep in mind that whenever you are trying to express a feeling, talk the first step is to use your imagination. And then the conclusion of creative writing poetry, that creative writing is the best way to improve students' creative skill and imagination. That's a beautiful style of language metamorph.
And that's all our explanation about creative writing in poetry. Thank you for watching and goodbye.